Welcome back to the Michigan Business Beat, brought to you on the Michigan Business Network. Chris Holman here, coming to you from our studios at the Capital Region International Airport. We're going to stay in town here. We're going to be joined by Nick Chaffin, who is the program manager, and Micah Hefty, manager of intercounty operations for the WIOA program. They are the leaders at CAMW, the Capital Area Michigan Works, and welcome to the show. We appreciate you both being here.
Thank you for having us, Chris.
Yes, thank you. Excited to be here.
All right, Nick, I think we'll start with you. As a matter of fact, first question for Nick is what are the primary objectives of WIOA? What is it, and your program at Capital Area Michigan Works?
All right, so the Workforce Innovation and Opportunity Act, which we lovingly refer to as WIOA at Capital Area Michigan Works, aims to improve the skills and employability of job seekers by providing access to training, education, and job placement services. The program focuses on aligning training with labor market needs to help individuals secure employment in high-demand industries. A key strategy to accomplish this is engaging with local employers to understand their workforce needs and ensure that the training our participants are receiving align with the industry requirements. Our program prioritizes services for veterans, individuals with disabilities, and members of low-income households, seeking to provide these groups with the necessary resources and support to overcome their barriers to employment, which may include a lack of training and education or transportation or barriers similar to that. Individuals that we're working with, on average, receive up to $5,000 towards their tuition costs. The credentials that they're pursuing are targeting demand-driven industries in our region, and we're primarily catering toward healthcare, information technology, advanced manufacturing, and we do receive also a lot of requests for CDL training. In addition to offsetting tuition costs, we also provide supportive services that can tackle some of those supplemental fees that we don't always roll into the budget, like transportation, mileage reimbursement, auto repairs, and even things like books, tools, uniforms, technology needs as well.
It's pretty interesting because people don't realize some of the, I guess, blocks to keeping people from enhancing themselves, and they are as simple sometimes as daycare, transportation, etc. And this is a big part of what you're doing. Mike, if I could, can you give us kind of an overview of the services offered through the WIOA program at CAMW, and maybe an example of this thing in action?
Yeah, so we have an application process for the WIOA program. We have two different programs, adult and dislocated worker. They have different criteria to them. So we first start by offering basic career services. So we're assessing if they're a good fit for the program, what interests they have, what skills they already have. And from that point, we decide if they are a good fit, if they need some more individualized career services. So if they need individualized career services, we will enroll them in our program. We'll do some further assessments on their interests, also like their reading and math comprehension, just because that can be very important when you're in school or in the workforce, having those skills. And we also will provide referrals to other services outside of our program. We're really big into the wraparound. And then we identify whether people are needing training services. So those training services are essential for some people to re-enter the workforce or to get a better job. So we might do an on-the-job training where we work with a local employer to try to place them into a position, or we'll look at classroom training where they can get an actual certification or a degree. Overall, the program is designed to improve the quality of the workforce and reduce the dependency on public assistance. We really want, people to be able to be self-sufficient. So a good example I have of a client that came to us that had recently separated from their partner who was the one providing the financial assistance, and they hadn't worked in a while. So we assessed them, we decided they needed to go into training to get a credential. The person obviously worked very hard to get that credential. We were there to support and, provide some of those support services to relieve barriers such as, the car insurance, paying for textbooks. And that person was able to finish their training and get employment get their own housing. So that was a great example of our program in action.
Well, so listen, we've got about a minute maybe left. Let's talk about your experiences as former WIOA participants and the career coaches influenced your approaches to managing the program now. Either one of you can jump in and we'll get comments from the other.
I think being a participant and having that firsthand experience with how frustrating it can be personally to lose your job unexpectedly and then try to navigate this workforce development system, which is complicated. There's a unique sense of empathy. And that helps me keep my focus in ensuring that this is not just about compliance and performance metrics, but also about the participant.
Mike, how about you?
I started as a career coach, so I think being able to understand on that level what our career coaches are doing, how they're helping people, the struggles, with that at times, really gives me a unique perspective. And I also still career coach because I want to stay connected to that. And so you see different struggles, but it's amazing seeing, how resilient people can be and how our services can really enhance their experience.
Nick Chaffin, program manager, and Micah Hefty, manager of intercounty operations for the WIOA program. You are leaders at CAMW, the Capital Area Michigan Works. We thank you for the good work you're doing, and thanks for spending us a little bit of time today. We appreciate it.
Sure. Thank you for the opportunity.
Thank you.
All right. You're watching the Michigan Business Beat on the Michigan Business Network. I'm Chris Holman.